So many people are busy watching cricket today. They forgot to come to Vihara for the Sunday evening program. Buddha also spoke about this winning and losing. The Buddha had two very powerful king. One was Pasenadi Kosala, and the other one was Ajatasattu. So they were both Buddha's devotee, follower, but they used to always fight with each other, like India, Pakistan. They used to fight all the time. And sometimes he used to lose, sometimes he used to win. So then Buddha said, when you lose, you are, you have hatred. You have hatred towards somebody who won. And when you win, you have a lot of ego, right? You have this sense of you being very important, you being very powerful. So that's why Buddha said, we need to go beyond this kind of winning and losing. So hopefully today, whoever lose the match, do not create hatred, and the one who wins doesn't show a lot of ego, but show some kindness. And also, hopefully, people just take it like a game, not like a war. Because generally we have problems with our neighbor, Pakistan and Bangladesh. So very important, to not feel hatred and ego. So one needs to be kind. One needs to be kind with everyone. So if you are not kind, then we go into winning and losing. But winning and losing, just like in cricket, in war also, sometimes you lose, sometimes you win. There is no any real outcome. So today I would like to speak about what we call volitional action, volitional karma. So we have always this question of who creates our karma? Is it already done by somebody, or is it we who do it, or it's like we don't have a past karma but we just do now? Is it like just a present thing? So lot of thinking over karma. So there is a small conversation between a Brahmin and the Buddha. So the Brahmin says, he goes to the Buddha and he says, let me read out for you. The sutta is called Attakari Sutta. Attakari Sutta means self-done sutta, something that you do yourself. So then a certain Brahmin went up to the Buddha and exchanged greeting with him When the greetings and polite conversations were over, he sat down to one side and said to the Buddha. So the Brahmin goes to the Buddha and he has a greeting and asks, Master Gautama, this is my doctrine and view. One does not act of one's own volition, nor does one act of another volition. So this Brahmin, he thinks that whatever we do, it is neither intentionally done by ourselves, nor it is done by someone else. So basically he's saying that there is no role of volition, there is no role of intention. What we call chetana, in Pāli we call it chetana. So he says we don't have, basically there is no karma, in other words. Brahmin, may I never see or hear of anyone holding such a doctrine or view. How on earth can someone who comes and goes on his own say that one does not act of one's own volition, nor does one act of another's volition? So Buddha is very serious about it. He's saying, somebody who holds such view, who doesn't think there is a volitional action, who doesn't think that we don't create our own action, our own karma. So he's saying, may I never see someone or hear someone. I never want to meet somebody who thinks that the karma is not done by us, or we don't have the intention to do the karma. We don't have that. So Buddha is saying, may I never see such people, because he thinks that's a very, very serious wrong view. It's a very serious wrong view, because if you don't think that you are not responsible for your karma, your action, then you may do any kind of karma. You may do any kinds of wrong thing, because you don't think that it is you who is doing. Actually there is a very interesting, funny story. It comes up in my mind about this karma thing when you don't take the responsibility. So our teacher, you see on the right side, Acharya Buddharakita, our Bada Bhanteji, we call him Bade Bhanteji. So he used to visit jail, prison, he used to visit jail, because just on the opposite of our headquarter monastery in Bangalore, there was central jail. Now it is shifted outside, but earlier it was in the heart of the city. So just opposite on the other side, we can see from our monastery. And he used to go to the prison, to the jail, to just give some fruit to the prisoners, and just bless them, just wish them, because of course they are in trouble, sometime because of their own karma, or sometime because they are just put into it. Someone else have wrongly accused them, in the crime. So he used to visit very often and, distribute fruits and do some blessing. And one time he met somebody whom he knew. He was a big fellow. There was a hotel on the other side, and I think he was the owner of the hotel or something like that. So he was quite a big fellow. So he saw them there, and our teacher asked, "Why are you here? What happened?" He said, I did a murder. I killed somebody, just murdered somebody. So why did you do it? It is so bad. And what he said is, he just showed his finger up. He just showed his finger up. He said, not me. Somebody has made me to do. He just showed up. I did not do it. It's someone else. So he was with the view that it is not me who is doing, but someone else is doing through me. That is his view. But the Brahmin here is saying, it is not done by you, done by someone else, you see. So that's a very strange view, because when you put it on someone else, then you don't take the charge. So it's a very, very, very serious repercussion, if you have such view. Then Buddha says, I don't want to see anybody. It's so bad, because if I see somebody speak like this, then it creates a bad view about karma, and then we end up doing a very wrong karma. Then Buddha says, what do you think, Brahmin? Is there an element of initiative? So the Brahmin, he's asking do you think there is this intention that we all have? He said, yes, we do have, like initiation, like you start something, someone is starting something. Yes, sir. Since this is so, do we find sentient being who initiate activity? Then he's saying, if that is the case, then all the sentient being, all the beings who have mind, so do they do something because of the initiation or intention or wish or desire? Yes, sir. Since this is so, do we find sentient being? Okay, yes, sir. Since there is an element of initiative and sentient beings who initiate activity are found, sentient beings act of their own volition or that of another. What do you think, Brahmin? Is there an element of persistent exertion, strength, endurance, energy? So Buddha is saying that since there is an element of initiative, so there is an element, dhatu. So just like in the body we have 4 dhatu, 4 element, earth, water, heat and air. We have this 4 element inside our body. So also there is some element within our mind, you see. So one of that element is chetana. So we have that element, that chetana, which is the intention. We have that intention to do, which means you have a power of doing and not doing. You are somebody who decides, okay, I want to do it, or I don't want to do it. It's entirely on you. It's entirely your own choice. You see, you can't say that, okay, someone else is making me to do it. Some unknown being, powerful being is making me to do it. Or maybe some other, I don't know, parent, society or whatever. Or sometimes people say that there is some kind of a voice, that is making me to do it. Such thing people say. But actually, we have, as part of our being, we have this power, we have this element as part of our being. Just like without air, body can't survive. Without water, body can't survive. Without heat, body can't survive. Without the earth element, which is the bones and other thing, body can't survive. In the same way, without intention, there is no mind. There is no being, basically. There is no sentient being. Otherwise, we are just like a tree, which has also the 4 elements, but not the intention. So, and then they don't also have the feeling. The trees, they don't have the feeling, but human beings have feeling. So there is this intention. It's a very important element. So we have that with us. Because we have that entirely in our hand, though it is, that intention also is largely influenced by different factors, like say past habits or some association that you have, or the culture, the society, maybe sometimes the weather as well, or all of that. But whatever the reason may be, but at the end of the day, it is your own personal choice. It is you. It is your choice who is doing it. Which means you are doing it. It's very as clear as it can be. We have to be just very clear, I am doing it. I am the doer. We can't just make it very unclear, saying that, maybe someone else is doing, maybe something from the past, or what can I do? My family or so society, culture, we try to just try to wash away our own responsibility. We try to skip. So it's very clear that we have that element. So because of that, we initiate activity. We do it, right? So sentient beings act of their own volition. It's on their own. It's really on, and maybe some others' volition, but again you decide, right? If say your parent tells you to do this, so of course your parents' intention, but then you do it. There is some interesting story where there was one public executioner, his name was Tamba the Thika. So he served in the king's court for almost 60 years, and he retired. He was a solo follower of Sariputta Bhante, and he invited the Bhante to his house, gave him offer him food, and then he was listening to Dhamma. But while he was listening to Dhamma, he was only thinking about all these years of, public prosecutor, wherein he would, order to hang people, to execute people. So it was coming in his head, and he was somehow feeling guilty about it, Then Sariputta Bhante knew that he was not so concentrated, and he asked, Tambadatika, why you are not able to listen? Is there something? And he said, I am remembering all these years of my service where I had to hang people. So he said, so the Bhante said, did you do with your intention or with the order of the king? He said, I did it with the order of the king. Then he said, you don't need to worry much, because you did with the order of the king or judge or whoever the person, take the decision, who gave the order. So either of someone else's volition or your volition. So in that kind of situation, you may not incur the main responsibility, because you are doing as a service. It is you are not the one who decided to do this act. You are doing because of someone else's order. So in that kind of situation, you will not incur the entire entire responsibility, but a little bit, not so much. So also Buddha says, there is an element of persistence. So we have, not only we have this element of volition through which we act by our own self, we are ourselves responsible for our own action because we do it on our own. But then we also have the element of persistent, which means we keep doing things, right? We do a certain action and we do again and again. We are persistent about it. We keep doing it. And that persistent element is also in our mind, in our self. So that also is our own. And because of that, we keep doing action. Then exertion. So we also have this exertion where we exert, where we push. We, in a sense, there are certain things we just do regularly, but not so much of exertion. But then we also have this element of exertion where we really push whatever we are doing. Then there is an element of strength. There is an element of power that is a strong will, a strong intention, a strong will, basically, where we put in. Let's say you are helping somebody, so you may be, you are helping somebody, but you are just helping very casually, but then you may be helping with lot of passion, with lot of strength, mental strength, the good, with say kindness or with compassion, with all this good-hearted. Then there is endurance. So we can also endure. We have the element of endurance that we. That is also an action, because endurance is nothing but, we, when we are faced by different situations, we are faced by different, sometimes criticism or sometimes, difficulty or whatever. So we can endure. We have this element of endure, and there also again it's your choice, right? You whether you want to endure it or not. Whether you want to be just angry or you don't want to be angry. Like that. Whether you want to be kind or you don't want to be kind. So all of that also is your choice. And energy, which is right energy, you can say so, or wrong energy also, wherein it is about right energy is you make an effort to not allow negativity to come in, and if it has come, you try to push it out and then develop some positive state of mind and protect it. So these are the things that Buddha mentioned, that it is all our own. We have all of that inside us, all the different karma that we do. Okay, so this is one aspect of my talk today. And another aspect is the different kinds of rebirth, So it's called the 6 classes of rebirth. So at that time, there was one religious guru. His name was Purana Kassapa. He spoke about 6 different kinds of rebirth. And the reason I connect these two suttas is there is a karma, but there is a result also. There is a continuation of your karma. So he says, black, blue, red, yellow, white, and ultimate white. So these are the 6 different kinds of rebirth he mentioned. The black class of rebirth consists of slaughterer of sheep, pigs, poultry, deer, hunter or fishers, bandit, executioner, butcher of cattle, jailers, and any other with a cruel livelihood. So he calls it a black kind of thing, it's a wrong kind of thing. It is not by Buddha, it is by one Purana Kassapa. He was one of the religious guru. There were 6 religious guru in the time of Buddha. And the blue class of rebirth consists of mendicant whose life is thorny and any other who teach the efficacy of deeds and action. So somebody who is, who believe in karma and rebirth, or karma in action, karma in result. Then the red class of rebirth consists of Jain ascetic who wear one cloth. Then the yellow class of rebirth consists of the lay people who dress in white, who are disciple of the naked ascetic. The white class of rebirth consists of male and female Ajivaka ascetic. Ajivaka is, this was also one religious group at that time. And the ultimate white class of rebirth consists of Nanda, Vacha, Kissa, Sankicha, and the bamboo staff ascetic Gosala. So these are also some religious group. These are the 6 classes of rebirth the Purana Kassapa describes. So Buddha is saying that, but Ananda, did the whole world authorize Purana Kassapa to describe these 6 classes of rebirth? So what Buddha is saying is that, did the whole world authorize Purana Kassapa? Because this looks like more of a personal wish kind of thing. But he's saying based on biasness, he's saying, okay, only these kind of people will go to, let's say, okay, those who only follow me would go to good rebirth, something like that. There is some kind of a biasness. So Buddha is saying, who authorized them? Just because you say something is like this, it will not happen. There should be some standard, there should be some logic, or there should be some based on a base on which you can say, you will have rebirth. Because it is saying that, okay, certain class of people or certain community, they will go to good rebirth and others will not go. It doesn't make sense, right? It is wrong, because then you are biased. So what Buddha is saying, that I, however, also describe 6 classes of rebirth. Listen and apply your mind, and I will speak. And what Ananda are the 6 classes of rebirth? Someone born into a dark class gives rise to a dark result. Someone born into a dark class gives rise to a bright result. Someone born into a dark class gives rise to extinguishment, which is neither dark nor bright. Someone born into a dark class gives rise to a dark result. Someone born into a bright class gives rise to a bright result. Someone born into a bright class gives rise to extinguishment, which is neither dark nor bright. So this different 6 class. So now let me explain what is the first one. And how does someone born into a dark class give rise to a dark result? So the first one is from dark to dark, basically darkness to darkness. That is the first one. It's when someone is reborn in a low family, a family of corpse, working workers, bamboo workers, hunter, chariot maker, scavenger, poor with little to eat or drink, where life is tough and food and shelter are hard to find, and they are ugly, unsightly, deformed, sickly, one-eyed, crippled, lame, or half paralyzed. They don't get to have food, drink, clothes and vehicle, garland, fragrance and makeup, or bed, house and lighting. And they do bad things by way of body, speech, and mind. When their body breaks up after death, they are reborn in a place of loss, a bad place, the underworld, hell. That's how someone born into a dark class gives rise to a dark result. So basically, you are in a bad situation, but you still do something bad, then so you don't grow up. That's what it is saying. But this kind of explanation is there so that we get a sense what is the bad place. Second is, how does someone born into a dark class give rise to a bright result? Now Buddha is saying it is possible for us to go from dark to bright, for someone to from dark to the bright. And how does someone born into a dark class give rise to a dark result? It's when someone is born into a low family or difficult family, but then they do good by body, speech, and mind. So again, it is your choice, your volition. You are in a difficult situation, but you still do something good. So you are born. After you are born in a good place, a heavenly place. That's the second one. And the third one is, how does someone born into a dark give rise to extinguishment, which is neither dark nor bright? It's when someone born into a family, they shave off their hair and beard, dress in ochre robe, and go forth from the lay life to homelessness. They give up the 5 hindrances, corruption of the heart that weakens wisdom. They firmly establish their mind in the 4 kinds of mindfulness meditation. They truly develop the 7 awakening factor, and then then they give rise to extinguishment, which is neither dark nor bright. That's how someone born into a dark class gives rise to extinguishment, which is neither dark nor bright. So someone is in a bad situation, but difficult situation, but he or she becomes an ascetic, basically becomes like a monk. And then they give up, practice, they give up the 5 hindrances, which are the obstacles of the mind, and then they develop the mindfulness, and then they develop the enlightenment factor, the 7 enlightenment factor. Then they say become enlightened. So once they become enlightenment, there is no dark, no bright, because you are beyond the karma, you are beyond the good and bad karma. So once you are fully enlightened, whatever you do has any result, or nothing, no karma happens. So also Buddha is saying, someone born into a bright class gives rise to a dark result. It's when someone is born in an eminent family, a well-to-do family of aristocrat, Brahmins, householders, rich, affluent, and wealthy, with lots of gold and silver, lots of property and asset, lots of money and grain, and they're attractive, good-looking, lovely, of surpassing beauty. They get to have food, drinks, and clothes and vehicle, garland, fragrance, and makeup, and bed, house, and lighting. But they do bad things by way of body, speech, and mind. When their body breaks up after death, they are reborn in a place of loss, a bad place, the underworld, hell. That's how someone born into a bright class gives rise to a dark result. So it's same for someone into a very good situation, but they do again bad karma by body, speech, and mind. And then another one who in a good situation but do the good karma. And finally, someone is in a good situation, but they take up a ascetic life, and then they develop this enlightenment factor, becomes enlightened, and then there is no bad and good karma. So what we can see from this sutta is that we have this choice. That's something we have to see by body and speech and mind. And we are all the time, from morning till evening, all the time we are into karma, not just when we come here, but we are always into karma. Morning till evening, we either think something, or we say something, or we do something by body, physically. So this is always there, but at every given moment we have a choice, you know. So that's why Buddha said we need to be diligent, appamada, which is another form of, you can say, which is another name for mindfulness, So, so he says that that's very important, that being mindful is very important all the time, because we are doing in a karma every moment, any moment, every moment, any place. There is no any a specific time for a karma, good or bad, you see. So therefore we need to be careful, because when we are careful, then we take a right choice, right choice. And as we see in the result, there is always a result. Every karma has a result until we become fully enlightened. Because until we become fully enlightened, there is no escape from karma. We are into karma. We are part of karma. We are, just part of the karma. Just we can't do. So Buddha is saying that till we are within the net of karma, it is always wise to do some good karma. Always be into good karma, so that we can at least be in a better place in future, now as well. It's not just in future, even now, every moment. So that's the option for us. And then we have a good karma, and then we develop certain enlightenment factor, as Buddha mentioned about enlightenment factor, that is sati, dhamma, vichaya, mindfulness, understanding, and virya, effort, and then piti, joy, passaddhi, which is peace, and samadhi, that is concentration, and then upekkha, which is equanimity, when the mind is totally stable. So we have to take our mind toward that stability, and the base is the volition. So you can see how a good volition can take us up all the way till the enlightenment, and it can also take all the way down in the lower world, in the hellish world, in a very unfortunate, difficult world. So therefore, the volition we always have with us all the time. So we need to be, we can strengthen our mindfulness so that, we are able to pick up our volition more closely, more efficiently, more strongly. We can have some hold over our volition. You see, if our mindfulness is more stronger, you see. So, and then Buddha mentioned about the karma by body, speech, and mind. So the more we try to do, the more good karma happens, and this more good karma enables us to be more control of our own volition again. You see, so like that we can grow, toward happiness, toward enlightenment. So this is my offering for you to contemplate, to reflect, and to grow. So with this, I conclude my evening Dhamma talk. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So today Sugatananda Bante's mother passed away. So Sugatananda Bante is one of our senior monk whose mother passed away. So we'll do a short blessing for her. Sabbe tiyo viva Barogo vinasato mate bhavatu antarayo sukhe degayuko bhavatu sabba dosabba devata sabba buddha nubhave sada sati bhavantu te bhavatu rakhantu sabba devata manubhave sada so bhavantu te bhavatu angalang rakha sabba devata sabba sangha na sada soti bhava. By the blessing of Buddha Dhamma Sangha, the blessing of Bhadevante, Guru Bhante Bhikshu Sang, Samnara Nagarika, and by the blessing of today's evening puja and meditation and Dhamma Shravan, may Sugatananda Bante's mother be blessed with peace wherever she is. May she may she have a good rebirth and come in contact with Dhamma and achieve the ultimate happiness of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So, we wish all of you good health, peace of mind and happiness. Whatever good punya we have accumulated today, by the blessing of this punya, may all of you be happy, healthy, peaceful and joyful. May you all be free from harm, danger, sickness and worries. May you all progress on the path of Dhamma and achieve the ultimate happiness of Nibbana. No sa. Sukhi bhaveya dukkha aniccaṃ aham viya hitāca me sukhe hontu majjata imam he gama khetam he sattha hontu sukhe tato paranchara jeso chakhavale sujantano sadhu sadhu sadhu.